What's good, people? We are still here at the hip-hop press conference, and I have the pleasure and the honor of having this man next to me, Mr. Grandmaster Jay. How are you today, my man?
I'm blessed. I got up this morning. Everything else is icing on the cake. And I'm not even gonna say a ball or a blast. I'm gonna say I'm honored to be on the forefront and watching hip hop just continue to grow and expand. So I feel comfortable in my home element. So right now, if there's anywhere else I could have been in the world, this is where I wanted to be.
My man, I asked Do It All the same question. Well, I noticed the same thing, and I wanted to talk to you as well. It's very surprising to see guys as yourself that have made accomplishments and are looked up to that still find time to mentor and to come talk to people that's still coming up. You don't see that a lot. So what makes you come to an event like this? What makes you sponsor it? What makes you just like you said upstairs, put your dollar behind it? What's that all about?
It's real simple. I care. And what I mean by that is, let me expound on that for a second.
Cool.
When you get to certain places, no matter what particular career path you choose, when you get to a certain level of accomplishment and then you look back, you begin to realize something. You start to recognize your mortality. You start to realize I may not always be around, and then you start looking at who's coming behind you, and you see the threat of all your hard work and all your accomplishments either being erased, forgotten, or revised into a format that is below what you and all your predecessors have accomplished. So then you realize something. Why are you waiting for someone else to pull them up? The responsibility is on you. So guys like myself, Do It All, Rod Digger, and a few other artists that I have a brother and sisterhood with, we see it as our responsibility to not sit back and be critical of what we're seeing, because to criticize without a solution makes you part of the problem. Somebody's gonna get that next week, but we just got it right now. So instead of us sitting on the sideline saying, why isn't this and why isn't that, we got up, dusted ourselves off, and got back in the game, because there's an old saying, for which much is given, much is required. And also there's the biblical saying that is, God does not give vision without provision. I mean, he's not gonna let you see something without giving you the means to get it done. That's anything. If you look around you, the supplies are there. I have been blessed enough through whatever I've done in life to be able to help those. I'll give you an example. Earlier this year, I had a contest out in the Midwest where I wanted individuals to display their talent. And unlike a lot of other people who still try to eat off of the young, I wanted to feed the young. So I took $2,000 of my own money and put it in a bowl and said, whoever won, it was yours. No strings attached. You didn't have to buy in. And when the young man won, and I put this money in his hand, he cried. And everyone started laughing. I said, no, don't cry. This is his moment. You don't know what this has done for him to be recognized and rewarded. And he looked at me and he said, you changed my life. I don't know what that meant. I didn't need to get any deeper. I didn't need to hear his testimony. But I know now that young man is further along in his career because someone awarded him for his talent, and because he took the initiative. We all have a responsibility, whether it's in family, church, work, school, politics, educating, or whatever, even music, to let everyone see that, listen, we care, and we're willing to devote our time, our resources, and our wisdom, and impart them to you, because you're the blueprint to somebody's life, whether you know it or not. Someone is always feeding off of your life.
Wow, you should be an inspirational speaker as well. It amazes me. I've been up and down the country, up and down the East Coast. I've been all over the country. I've been in areas where people that have made it in the game are from, and they can care less about a legacy. They could care less about anything other than them getting back on.
Two things have happened. There's a pathway of what we call, some people do it for the money. Then there are those of us who have a passion for what we do. and your passion is anything you love to do that you got paid for, you be feeling like I'm getting over. You just love to do it. But if you get in it with the wrong motives, once you achieve the wealth, the status, that's not your passion. It's what you chose to do to get paid. Well, you paid now. You never had a passion. Matter of fact, you don't even know what you have. So when you lose it, you'll never know what you lost. Whereas there are those of us who have a passion for what we do. If I never made another dime again, if I never got to stand in front of another crowd, I will always have a room in my house where I can close my door and do my passion. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay? So that's the difference. So you're seeing it at higher levels now. You're seeing it at corporate levels now. And because this is a country based on capitalism and not socialism, where it's every man for himself, where we have the attention span of a fly, well, people are only concerned about what's coming tomorrow that they can get paid off of. And there's a small demographic of us that are not. We are the ones who care about the legacy, not only that we leave, but how this entire era is remembered. Most people forget rock and roll started off as being black.
Oh man, I have another question for you because, and I think, well, I know you can relate because you're doing it now. I try to help when I can, not as much as you, but I do. And the one thing that disappoints me is when you're trying to help them and they don't want it. And it's almost, you know, and so, but now you're on the opposite of that because you're working with some people that, you know, have taken what you've given them or what you've helped them get and expanding it and everything like that. So how does that feel that when you decided to give your knowledge, your wisdom, your resources, your income, that these guys really accepted it and really did what they were supposed to do with it?
I feel great. Matter of fact, I feel honored. I feel respected. Yeah. I feel that for so long we've had to go to other sources to get these things, and some of us have moved into positions where we can be those people to give those resources, to be respected and taken seriously enough that people understand that if I give you $15,000 of my money or $150,000 of my money, that you will treat it with the same credence and respect that you would from a company like GE or Procter & Gamble. And that's where you begin to feel, well, if I can do this for them, I can do something for anybody. And it doesn't always have to be music. It can be the Lupus Foundation. It can be breast cancer, domestic violence. It can be empowering young brothers who don't have a blueprint anymore. It can be wellness boot camps for women who have daddy issues. There are things that you can put your money behind that it broadens your horizon. So it makes me feel good, but it empowers me. Now I'm empowered. I've had 8 events this year. Major events, some I never even attended, only they're in brand name, but they were successes and people prospered. So if I decide to come down from the palace to check out what's happening in the kitchen, see what y'all cooking,
no doubt,
taste the food, feel the service, get some love. I go back upstairs to the palace and go, they doing a good thing down there. And when I see you, I say, servant job well done. Then I don't feel bad when someone says, hey, can you invest in this? Can you invest in that? We have a legacy of mistreating our own for so long that when someone asks for something, people instantly assume the negative, where it should be the other way around. When someone asks you for something, you instantly assume the positive unless you see signs or a track record that is not a good investment.
I just want to thank you. I got one more question. Are you originally from Newark? And I ask you that because the ownership, it's almost like you adopted these kids almost, man.
In actuality, I didn't.
You didn't?
Let me share something with you.
Cool.
I reached a point in my life when I realized I had to get off the bench. I didn't get off the bench just for New Jersey. I got off the bench for the entire country. At the same time I first became involved with the hip-hop conference in New Jersey, on the same day, I became involved with the hip-hop movement in Augusta, Georgia. I became involved in the same day in the hip-hop movement in Los Angeles, and I flew to 3 conferences in one day to lend my time, resource, and support. Because I went to those areas where I saw there being a grassroots effort. So I've embraced all of them. Every time these folks see me, I've flown in. I flew in today. Every time they see me somewhere, I didn't hop on a bus. I hopped on a plane because it means that much to me. When I'm investing in these events, I'm doing it from afar, but I come close sometimes to see the fruition. And you have to realize something. For every action, there's an equally strong reaction. For every good step we try to take forward, there are naysayers and critics. And people who think, well, there must be an ulterior motive. No, there's not. That's why it's important sometimes for God to come down and take the form of a man and find out what's happening down here. Because I'm doing a good thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
But I will share this with you, and this is my shameless self-plug of what I did tonight.
Okay.
Tonight I unveiled the blueprint for hip-hop to begin to teach gospel internally. You see, and I'm not knocking any genre,
I'm following you.
but the world has infiltrated so many sectors of our society that it doesn't sound authentic. We broke ourselves. Only we can fix ourselves. So when I did Real Christian, but I don't like rappers, I'm talking to hip-hop. That you are rich, you are powerful, you are affluent, but you're also misogynistic. You're critical, you are prejudiced, you are violent, you are all of these elements that are not embracing what got us here in the first place. Hip-hop is a brotherhood, a sisterhood of positive energy and achievement. But that's all based out of the Bible. And the reason that gospel hip-hop can't infiltrate is because you're not us. You're from the pews, and we're from the streets. And the reason that the streets don't come to the pews is because you don't consider us to be a part of you. So you're trying to imitate us, and we take it as a joke. But when we start talking to ourselves, and we're not just talking off the top of our heads, we're talking as those who sat at the feet of theologians. And we do know the 66 books from Genesis to Revelation. And we know how to artistically flip that into a digestible language that will affect the young, the old, the saved, and the unsaved. So that was the mission. That's why I showed up. That's why I manifested myself, because I got to get this thing started. Because we're out of control right now. We're not even on automatic pilot. The automatic pilot broke. We just all over the place. Okay? I love these people. I love Newark. I love New York. I love Philly. I love DC, Richmond, Raleigh, Charlotte, Atlanta. I spend more time in these cities than I do at home because my work is never done. And God has blessed me with unlimited resources, so I'm blessing those who need. I'm giving you the rope. Don't hang yourself.
I want to thank you, brother, for everything.